can I just say something? What I don't understand, I don't know if you guys been noticing, but why is Maguire all the way up to the pitch on the opposition box? Why?
Because
He's
unlike
freestyling.
Cass is doing it because he just wants to do what everyone to do. Maguire's doing it because what else has he got to pass to? Yeah, who's he passing to?
Also, what we ended up because the man. Listen, I thought Rasmus Højlund had a really poor game again today. It's funny, Don, just one of the United fans. So Don in the comments section that all season has said he'd swap him for and Jackson. He's now saying no, I wouldn't, and he's put in some stats shows having a stinker. Don again being a hypocrite because when it comes to players he likes, it's the manager's system and how he's being played. That's why they're doing so badly. When it comes to Rasmus, no, it's Rasmus Højlund that's bad. That's because Don is a charlatan in that way. You are Don. I hope you're watching. It's same with Enzo. He's like, oh, Enzo's been carrying a hernia. That's why he's not been playing so well. But yet he doesn't have that same sympathy for Saka that's literally carrying an injury as well. That's just, anyway, we'll have Don on a show soon. He's been ducking us the last few days, but he'll be on again soon to answer for his crimes. But I looked at Rasmus today. And the reason why Maguire ended up being put as start going up the other end is because we have to put him on as a makeshift striker in the end because our manager takes off our only number 9. And I know he wasn't playing well, but if you actually go back and watch the game, there's 2 or 3 moments where we had the chance to square the ball when it was 0-0 and 1-1. There was no one in the number 9 position because we didn't have one on the pitch.
Yeah.
As bad as he was, you've got to leave him on. You can't be taking him off. And then what happens is Maguire pushes up. Nobody covers his position, so we're even more susceptible to counterattacks.
Yeah, the space is so big
It's
already.
Here's my main thing. If anyone is Ten Hag in, here's another reason why I need him to go. Show me the development of our young players. Not how many games they start, not the minutes that they get. Show me the development. Show me how much better Garnacho is from when he got his first debut last season to now, because his first touch is still off. His finishing has been so bad this year. He should have 15 goals this year with the amount of chances that he's been getting and the opportunities falling to him. Hasn't improved. His crossing hasn't improved. His dribbling, taking on man 1v1s has not improved. Rasmus Højlund's hold-up play has not improved. None of his movement hasn't improved. Kobe Mainoo, we love him, but his defensive play has not improved. His positional awareness defensively has not improved. Why is that? Because we literally send our young players out there on raw talent alone and say, go be the guy. Where is the development? Someone show me how much better they have gotten from their debuts to now. Because
this is why, I mean,
it's minimal.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I always want to ask what we do in training when it comes to this squad, because it feels like we don't work on anything. And like you said, KJ, I wanted to touch on your point about wanting to see improvement. I mean, I don't want to speak for everyone on the channel, but if we would actually see something, if we would see these little improvements in the players, or even just how we pass to one another, or how we can, move the ball around, if we saw these little improvements, we might be able to say, okay, the results aren't coming, but we can see improvement in players. We can see things, we can see positive things. But the fact that it feels like we went backward, or we're going backwards almost, when we're seeing the way that our team and our players are on the pitch conducting themselves. I mean, to be fair, some of them aren't even in the position they're supposed they play in anyway. So it's hard to even hold them to a standard of that when they're not in the right position anyway. And I think that's where it's just hard, and you get frustrated as a fan because you're not seeing that improvement. You're not seeing anything. You're just seeing a manager trying to save his job and react to what he's seeing on the pitch, instead of, actually coaching and managing and trying to build a system that is now for him is non-existent. And I just want to add too, sorry, I did say we drew to Sheffield. It felt like a draw, but we didn't. So, I just wanted to add that.
A slip of the tongue doesn't undo the point that you made. Again, some people focus on that bit, but it's true.
I put the link in the chat to say, because everyone was saying you need to get people who want Ten Hag in to challenge you. So I put it in the chat for people to come and challenge. Fayaz is backstage, but you're Ten Hag out, right? Are you Ten Hag out? No. Oh, okay. So he's here to challenge our opinion. So let's go.
Hey,
why should Ten Hag stay?
I want to clarify one thing. I'm not Ten Hag in, but I'm not Ten Hag out. I'm kind of agnostic. I just don't care, to be honest.
You're Ten Hag out.
Not doubt. I just don't care. At this point, honestly, I really don't care anymore. Honestly, if he's gone, or again, the club is such a mess right now. I'm here to give the point of view of Erik Ten Hag inners because, again, I'm in the States. I speak with a lot of people here who are Erik Ten Hag in. I see him online and so forth. One of the biggest concerns is there is a worry that if Erik Ten Hag is allowed to leave, it's like PTSD, where Van Gaal left and Mourinho left. The players survive. There is that concern. The players, they won't be held accountable. The Glazers are in charge. We won't let the players leave. That Erik Ten Hag, he's going to be the scapegoat for everything that's happening right now, pretty much. That's one of the major concerns people have. I don't believe that. I think Ineos are smarter than that. I think Ineos will allow players to leave. Another thing is financial issues as well. To sack Erik Ten Hag, it's going to cost us £10 million. I think if we sack him right now, it's going to cost us £20 million, if I'm not mistaken. And again, I know we're Manchester United, we have a lot of money and so forth, but it's a concern. We are in a poor position. Ineos, we are really, really poor position financially speaking. Again, the players on the field, how many players are there are worth real money? To be honest, I mean there are some. Don't get me wrong, but again, it's a complete mess out there. And of course, you have the normal reasons they're gonna say, oh, he promotes youth, which again, I think KJ brought this up earlier that he's bringing up youth right now, but are they advancing? Are they getting better? I don't think they are, to be honest. But again, he has given opportunity for them to rise up. So again, there was Ekbal, he let him leave, for example. There was a few young players who weren't good enough to leave. He has promoted Garnacho, he has promoted Meno, he has promoted that defender, what's his name again? Kambaba. Guy's name. Yeah, so there are some again. He's got on. I like Holding, to be honest. He's a young player, so again, he is promoting the youth, I could say. But again, like we were saying earlier, they're not good enough. And again, the whole thing is a mess right now. And again, another thing I'll say as well that a lot of people, Erik Ten Hag inners, when Erik Ten Hag first came, remember it was between him and Poch. Remember at the time, a lot of the media were pro Poch. A lot of the fans were pro Erik Ten Hag. A lot of the fans have that loyalty to Ten Hag. They want it to work out, especially since now they're excited there's a new project coming in, new management, new ownership. Okay, we want to give him at least a season or half a season to see how he'll manage under, no Murtaugh, no Arnold, someone new to work with. So again, it's not a defense to Erik Ten Hag. I'm just giving some context why a lot of Erik Ten Hag supporters want him in. It's not because necessarily they think he'll actually make us win. Again, part of it is hope. And again, a lot of reasons I laid out right now, that's really a lot of reasons why people want him to stay. Not just, it'll get better if he stays. A lot of people don't even believe that. They just want to give it a chance, I guess.
So if we're not going to win, why would you want him to stay? I don't know.
It's not me. I'm just saying what I hear.
But that's what Sky's question is to those people. Is like, if you don't believe he will make us better and win things.
They hope. Again, they hope he can do something about it. Again, they believe in Ineos more. It's more belief that Ineos can make this work out, and they think Erik Ten Hag has it with the right management can do better. That's the argument that they're making right now.
Fair enough. Yeah, Terry. There's a look backstage.
I know. Eye test is here. What are you saying, eye test? And he's got Alexander Isak. He's got Isak on him. He's doing very, very well today.
Yeah.
What you saying, eye test? What you here to say?
Yes, I would like to address the Man United fans. Listen, everyone's getting onto Ten Hag, and I'm getting onto Ten Hag as well. He's a trash, horrible, horrific, terrible, whatever word you can use for him. He's a horrific manager. But people are only focusing on Ten Hag. I want to also focus on the players and call out the Man United fans, because I'm starting to see the same excuses used for every player in the Man United team. Which is, he's a good player. He's just playing around trash players. They say that about Højlund. Højlund is a good player. He's just in a trash team with trash players around him. Bruno is a good player, but he's in a trash team with trash players around him. Garnacho, Rashford, same thing. But isn't that a contradiction? Isn't that a contradiction? Because with Højlund, they say he's a good player. He just doesn't have the right players around him. The players around him don't create enough chances. But at the same time, they're saying Bruno, they're using the same excuse for Bruno. So is Bruno not meant to be creating for him? But you're using the same excuse for both players? It makes no sense. So I want to call out the Man United fans for that. They keep using the same excuse for Garnacho, Rashford, Bruno. But if you're using the same excuse for all of these players, that's a contradiction.
No,
That's the contradiction. No, for me, all of these players are trash. All of these players are trash. That's the answer. It's not that they're playing around trash players. They're all trash.
I got a question for you, mate. Like, I normally remember we used to battle it out back in the days, man. Classic times. That's why I'm excited you're here. Who would you rather have? Erik ten Hag or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
Listen, man. They always say, yeah, bro, Oli, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's that bad. It's that bad.
Do you know what I think it comes down to? I think it depends on. I think it depends on what era. Because if you think about lockdown Ollie, it was quite fun. There were some really good results, some good games, but he didn't win us any. He didn't win us any trophies. So I do get it. What I would say about what you said about the players I test, I don't think every single player is trash. I think there are lots of these players. If I know you're not a big fan of Rashford, Rashford leaves and goes to a club that's in with a good structure, a good atmosphere, good environment. You'll see him cook, as an example, in my opinion. I think there are some really talented players in our team, but when the system is so poor, when the structure is so poor, and I'm talking the structure on the pitch, forget the board for a moment, I'm talking on the pitch, it's never going to yield the results you want. We have a few more super chats here before the end. This one says, that's where we need a proper director of football comes in. We need proper structure in place. The coach doesn't control the amount we pay for players. Someone needs to say no to him. That element I agree with completely. And I think that's an area where I do defend Ten Hag. He should never have been given that responsibility. That area I agree with you on, Tony. I don't think you're wrong on that at all. Zed here says managers do not run football clubs anymore. Their head coaches. Ten Hag was never responsible for buying players at Ajax, so it's obvious he'd fail. Exactly. That element I'm not angry at him about. But I think he's been here so long and he's had problems with people, and I just feel as though it would be a cleaner and quicker scenario to, sometimes you've got a broken leg and healed right. They have to re-break it, set it all again and start over again. That's how I kind of see this. You've got to break it all apart, start all over again to try and fix this.
One small point to add to that. I know Erik ten Hag shouldn't be in charge of buying players, but at the same time, he sees these players and he knows his system. So when he buys a player, I want to buy that player, they should fit his system. So if they're not working, he does have blame. I know it's not all on him, but he has to blame as well.
What doesn't make sense, he's bought players that he's predominantly wanted before that would fit his Ajax system, but then he's said, I'm not. Basically, he's alluded to that's not how we play at Man United, so I'm playing a different way. Well, then why are you buying players that are suited to your old system? None of it makes any sense, and that's why I think it all needs to go, and you start all over again. I get people's logic, but there we go. Look, I want to thank you.